What up players, it's Warboss Tay up in this mud. Today I've got an unboxing and review for the product known as the Renegade Militia Conversion Set, which is produced by Forge World. And this is a great kit. You could really go all out and buy the arms as well, and I think they've got a lot of them have like shotguns or auto guns and stuff, but I'm going to show you if you want to build an alternate Chaos themed Renegade list to go with your Chaos Space Marines as allies in 6th edition. This is a great way to do it. It's not as cheap as some other options, but if you're only using them to supplement your Chaos Space Marines, then it's a lot better than buying a full-on, you know, Forge World kind of army for Renegade Guard. Because, you know, Guard is usually so horde heavy. Oh, my baby Termagant. Anyways, so what you get in the package is two What you get are two sets of 5 torsos, and let's take a little bit of a closer look at each of them. So you can see Masks and Rebreathers and the 8-pointed star. Here are their gas tanks on the back. So these guys fit really well with the Cadian sprue because they've got, you know, some semblance of uniforms. So what I could see these being are planetary defense forces, PDFs that have been subverted by Chaos, and they would go great with like a Word Bearers Legion kind of themed Chaos army, or Alpha Legion, or some kind of Chaos Legion that specializes in, you know, not mind wiping, but like brainwashing the population and converting them all to worship the ruinous powers. And I think that's pretty, you know, that's pretty fluffy. I would say that if you're going to do something like Astroclaws allies, Imperial Guards allies for the Astroclaws, then you could actually use regular Cadian Guardsmen and just paint them up in the colors of the Tyrant's Legion, because you know, they weren't worshipping Chaos back then. They were just conscripted by the Astroclaws. Okay, so I built them up using Cadian legs and arms and weapons. And here's the first one. I wanted to show him first because he is actually the one I need to do the most work on. I need to do some green stuff fixing for the arm and the shoulder, but I really like the cinematic pose that makes him look like he's really aiming right down the sight of his last gun and advancing forward and just like shooting as he's advancing. And I think it's just really cinematic looking. You can't get this pose otherwise, and it also shows the little 8-sided star down here. I also noticed in all my kits, they all have this weird air bubble on this one torso figure, which you might have seen when I was showing you the sprues just a little while ago. But I love the look of the models. These sculpts are really fantastic. Here's a guy chucking a grenade. Yeah, so you would use these as regular, you know, counts as Imperial Guardsmen. They are just a conversion kit that's gonna make them look different, and like if you have a Chaos themed army already, then you can make them, paint them up, match them, make them look like your guys. I'm eventually gonna give them all little grenade bits or pouches, just because I like my guys looking as detailed and weighted down by their equipment as possible. From this model on, you might also see some of the Imperial Eagles scratched off, and some of these models I got from a trade where the client actually had built these models up and scratched off the eagles beforehand. Oh, and this bayonet looks like it's gonna fall off any second. But as you can see, the torsos match really well. They've got the belts just like the torsos for the Cadian Guardsmen on the front, so they look like they pretty much match the arms and the legs. And as I mentioned earlier, you can order from Forge World as well the Renegade Militia arms that come with auto guns. I like this guy. His gas mask looks really mean. Cool, so cool. And you know, the arms might fit your army or not. I went for the cheapest route possible, which is just buy the conversion torsos the torsos for the conversion, and then just use Cadian parts for the rest. That means you're going to end up with a lot of torso bits, Cadian torso bits, and you can either sell those off and the heads to a friend who might be doing a Renegade Grot army. If you remember my Renegade Grots, they use torsos, Cadian arms, and goblin legs and heads, or you just sell them as bits. But going this route is going to be a little bit more expensive. Here's a Vox caster. And then if you were to build a straight guard contingent, but like I said, if you're going to do just a small supporting force for your a force of allies for your Chaos Marines, then you could certainly do a lot worse than these guys. Alright, I've got 2 more guys. I don't know why I wanted to do a flamer rather than a grenade launcher. I just think it looks so much more cool. And here he is, my conversion. I had to put the Prometheum tank somewhere because he's already got a rebreather on his back. So what I had to do was shave off like the tube and the pouch that's connected to the arm and the Cadian sprue. And then I just took the backpack with the Prometheum tanks, clipped off the pipes or the tubing that's supposed to connect to the flamer, and then because it's made to hook onto the back of a torso of a Cadian, it already has these 2 little knobs on the ends which slot really nicely into the center, as you can see, of the flamer. I just realized this looks kind of phallic. That was not my intention. Okay, let's not look at this guy anymore. Actually, what I really like about the flamer guy is that it looks like, from the way I posed him with the flamer kind of up at an angle, showing, totally not intentional, but it looks like he's just dousing an area with burning hot promethium, and I think that is just really cool. Skeet, 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 skeet. And the last guy I'm going to show you is the Sergeant. I decided to give him the slung rifle and the pointing arm of a heavy weapons guy, and I kind of chose this torso because it looks like his eyes are following, his head is following where his finger is pointing. I think that's really cool. So he's got like the canteen and the knife where he can't reach it. Poor design. Okay, and yeah, I decided that in order to do a guard's army, I kind of wanted to be, the theme or the fluff would be that the leaders of this force are the ones that are infecting and converting and just like brainwashing the troops, but they are the ones that are going to be kind of hanging in the back. Even though he's not armed with any special weapons or anything, fluff-wise, unless he gets put into a challenge. And even then, I think that just the cowardly nature of self-preservation that Chaos kind of instills sometimes would be a pretty cool thing. Or I could, instead of making them like Alpha Legion or Word Bearers, maybe we could paint these guys up as Nurgle theme, like Death Guard, because they certainly do look like, with the gas masks, that you could paint them up in a very sickly, Nurgle-ish kind of theme. So that's an option. Alright, the last part of this video is going to be actually an assembly of a model. Just put these guys on the side. What I have here is a pair of legs glued to a base. I decided to do that first because there was no reason not to. And then I've got a torso and the rifle arm and the left arm. So the first thing you're gonna do is, I use super glue whenever I glue resin to plastic, and that's just because I don't want to risk the plastic glue coming undone, and because you're supposed to use super glue when gluing resin together anyways. So we'll just hope that it holds. I used to use super glue all the time when I was gluing my first army, my Orcs and Goblins, together. A lot of them are plastic, and I didn't know that there's a difference between super glue and plastic glue. So I was using super glue, and one day after a game I was putting my little Night Goblins away, and you know how small Night Goblins are. Their little arms started popping off, and the first time it happened I was like, oh, that's weird. And then more and more started popping off while I'm putting them into the case, and my opponent was looking at my little arms, my little guy's arms popping off, and he was like, are you super gluing those guys together? And I said, yup. And he said, facepalm, you're not supposed to, or you can, but it works a lot better if you glue with plastic glue, plastic cement, which is why I totally love this Model Master liquid cement for plastic models. I'm like their #1 fan. Once the model sticks, once that bond forms, it's, you know, it's really solid. It's really tight. So I'm gonna let this super glue dry for a little while, then we'll come back and we'll stick the arms on. Okay, what I've done while I was uploading the first clip of this video was I actually slapped some glue onto the right arm and glued it to the torso. I'm just kind of holding it while the thing was uploading, so it's only been a couple of minutes. But super glue, really cool, really great when working with resin. So hopefully it'll stick. I haven't had any experience before with gluing resin to plastic. So let me know, would you use super glue or plastic glue? I'd be interested in hearing from the other modelers and hobbyists out there. So what we're going to do for this side is we're actually going to just glue super glue to the torso, and then once we get it in place and get the angle right, we're going to fill in the gap where the wrist meets the sleeve. We're going to hit that up with some plastic glue to make a little bond there. James Bond. Alright, and there you have it, players. One twisted, corrupt, chaos worshipping renegade ready to join the heretics and blaspheme against the Emperor. So let me know what you think. Do you like the sculpts? I like them. I give the conversion kit a very nice A+ grade. Actually, I don't know about an A+. Maybe just an A because of some weird flash, and there were some mold lines, and there was some flash, and there was some weird, you know, air bubbles in places where you wouldn't expect them to be. But overall, I love how each of the 10 look different. It's not like the Cadian box set or the, you know, Catachan box set where there's only really 2 or 3 different options and you gotta mix and match. I kind of like that the torsos come with the heads already attached to them. I think that is a pretty interesting way to go with them. And I think that once you have Cadian pieces, I mean, most people I know have Cadian guardsmen boxes, either, you know, fully assembled or just bits lying around. And if not, they're pretty cheap. You can get them pretty cheap off of eBay if you're not gonna go to your retailer. But I think it's just whether or not you want to add this kind of cinematic narrative to your guard army. They're gonna play as guard with all the guard rules, like, you know, order system, commissars. Oh, it'd be so fun to build up a renegade commissar. I wonder what that would look like. And then you've got, you know, renegade psyker models, renegade ogrin models, renegade ratlings. Might be fun to convert up since they don't have that. But I think these sculpts are pretty fun and pretty cool. The first time I heard about them was on Mini Wargaming's, one of their On the Road with Joe battle reports where he goes somewhere and he fights a renegade guard army, and I thought, what is that? And then I saw the models and I kind of did some research on them, and I just fell in love with them from back then. Never got around to really building them or going out and trying to collect them till now, but I got a good deal, and when you get a good deal, it's hard to pass that kind of stuff up for offering out my painting services in exchange. I'm really happy with these guys, with the way they come together, and yeah, like I said, you get leftover torsos and heads, Cadian heads and torsos that you can either pawn off to another Cadian player or to somebody who might be doing a grot army, a renegade grot army. Like, if you remember seeing my renegade grot last cannon team, I don't think I have the model around right now at the moment. But yeah, great fun, looks great. There would definitely be really cool sight on the battlefield. I don't think I know anybody at my local game store who plays them. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments and everything down in the box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh my god, I hit 3,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. Like one day it was at 2992, and then I went to sleep, and then I had like 3,005 the next morning. I was like, sweet! So thank you everybody for subscribing. Thanks for watching. It's still July, so head on over to Project One Gaming for the 20% off discount code if you want a commission job in the month of July. First come, first serve. And you're going to need to scan the barcode at the end of this video for that. And don't forget to check out all of the great deals over there that D and his people are doing. So great fun. Stay tuned for a stubble tutorial already in the works, and some Tau stuff. Woo! Some more stuff too. Eldar. Oh, so much stuff. So much stuff to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next one.